What if I told you that the first 60 minutes of your day determine whether you'll ever be rich? Not kind of rich. Not I can afford a nice car rich. I'm talking about change the world, buy a private island, build rockets rich. And here's the thing, the guy who actually does that, he wakes up at 3:45 a.m. Not 6, not 7, not when the alarm feels nice, 3:45. Elon Musk doesn't stumble out of bed. He doesn't scroll TikTok. He doesn't see how he feels. He executes a morning system so precise, so ruthlessly optimized, that by the time you're hitting snooze for the third time, he's already solved 3 problems that would take your entire afternoon. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what he does. Not the fluff, not the drink water and journal advice your aunt posts on Instagram. The real routine, the stolen blueprint, the one that built Tesla, SpaceX, and a $200 billion empire. Are you ready? Let's go. Here's the first thing you need to understand about billionaires. They don't treat mornings like you do. You treat morning like a suggestion, a soft start, a warm-up. Billionaires treat morning like war. And the first weapon? Time. Elon doesn't negotiate with his alarm. He doesn't bargain for 5 more minutes. He treats waking up like a non-negotiable contract with himself. Why? And the second you open your eyes, that battery is at 100%. Every decision you make, what to wear, what to eat, whether to check your phone, drains it. By 9 a.m., most people are already running on empty. By 9 a.m., Elon has already made the 3 hardest decisions of his day. This is called decision fatigue, and it's the silent killer of your potential. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Mark Zuckerberg still does. Not because they lack style, because they refuse to waste decisions on things that don't matter. Elon takes it further. He plans his morning the night before, not vaguely, specifically, minute by minute. What he eats, what he works on, what he ignores. Because here's the truth nobody tells you. Discipline isn't about doing more. It's about removing options. The more choices you eliminate, the more energy you have for what actually moves the needle. And what moves the needle for Elon? Work. Not emails, not meetings, not catching up. Deep work, the kind that requires your full brain, the kind that builds companies, writes code, designs the future. He blocks the first 90 minutes of his day for his hardest problem, the one that makes him uncomfortable, the one that actually matters. Most people do the opposite. They start easy, they check emails, they ease in. Billionaires start hard. They eat the frog. They tackle the task that terrifies them before their brain has time to make excuses. And here's why this works. Your brain is sharpest in the morning. Cortisol is up. Dopamine is fresh. Your prefrontal cortex is firing on all cylinders. By afternoon, you're a different person. Slower, more emotional, more likely to procrastinate. Elon knows this. He attacks it first. But here's where it gets really interesting. Elon doesn't just work hard in the morning, he works strategically. He uses something called time blocking. Every minute is assigned. Every task has a limit. He doesn't work on Tesla for a while. He works on Tesla for exactly 47 minutes, then he moves. Why? Because constraints create focus. Give yourself all day to finish something and you'll take all day. Give yourself 47 minutes and you'll find a way. This is Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time available. Billionaires know this, they use it as a weapon. But wait, there's something even more critical. Elon doesn't start his day consuming, he starts it creating. Think about what you do first. Instagram, news, emails. You're letting other people program your brain before you've even programmed your own. Elon doesn't check his phone for the first hour. Not because he's disciplined. Because he knows that inputs determine outputs. If you start your day with other people's priorities, you spend your day serving other people's priorities. Billionaires create before they consume. They write, they think, they build, before the world has a chance to distract them. And speaking of inputs, Elon showers, every single morning, without fail. Not because he's obsessed with hygiene, because he uses that time to think. He once said his best ideas come in the shower, and he's not alone. Studies show that the shower triggers a brain state called the default mode network, where your mind wanders, connects ideas, and solves problems creatively. But here's the key. He doesn't bring his phone into the shower. He doesn't listen to podcasts. He lets his mind work. Most people can't sit with their own thoughts for 5 minutes. Billionaires build empires in that silence. Now let's talk about the body, because your brain is part of your body. And Elon treats it like a machine that needs fuel. He doesn't eat garbage for breakfast, not because he's on a diet, because he knows that food is information. A sugar crash at 10 a.m. doesn't just make you tired. It makes you stupid. It clouds judgment. It kills creativity. Elon keeps it simple: high protein, low processed garbage, enough to fuel the machine, not enough to slow it down. And coffee? Yes, but not 4 cups, not as a crutch, as a tool, used strategically, not desperately. But here's the part that most people miss. Elon doesn't just optimize his morning, he optimizes his sleep to protect his morning. He goes to bed with intention. He knows exactly how many hours he needs. He doesn't see how it goes, because a bad morning starts the night before. He limits blue light. He has a wind-down routine. He treats sleep like a performance tool, not a weakness. Most people brag about how little they sleep. Billionaires brag about how well they sleep. Because they know that sleep isn't lost time. It's maintenance. It's when your brain consolidates memories, processes information, and prepares for the next battle. And here's the secret that ties everything together. Elon doesn't do this because he's a robot. He does this because he has a mission. A morning routine without a mission is just a chore list. It's empty. It falls apart in 2 weeks. But when you know exactly why you're waking up, when you have something that pulls you out of bed instead of pushing you, the routine becomes automatic. It becomes who you are. Elon doesn't wake up at 3:45 a.m. because he loves waking up early. He does it because Mars isn't going to colonize itself. He has a mission so compelling that comfort becomes irrelevant. And that right there is the real secret. Not the alarm time, not the shower, not the time blocking. It's having a reason to wake up that makes hitting snooze feel like betrayal. Let me tell you something crazy. In 2008, Elon was sleeping on the factory floor of Tesla. Both Tesla and SpaceX were weeks from bankruptcy. He had just gone through a divorce. The press called him a failure. Most people would have broken. Most people would have slept in, would have given up. Elon didn't change his routine. He intensified it. He woke up earlier. He worked harder. He focused on the one thing that mattered, keeping the companies alive. He later said it was the worst year of his life, but he kept the system. He kept the discipline. And within months, SpaceX landed its first major contract. Tesla secured critical funding. The routine didn't just save his companies. It saved him. This is what nobody understands. Routines aren't for when life is easy. They're for when life is impossible. When everything is falling apart, your morning system is the one thing you control. It's the anchor in the storm. And here's the proof that this works beyond Elon. Jeff Bezos starts his day with puttering, slow, intentional morning activities that ease him into high-stakes decisions. Different method, same principle. Protect the morning. Tim Cook wakes up at 3:45 a.m. too, not because he copied Elon, because the math is the math. Early hours equals undisturbed focus. Oprah meditates for 20 minutes before touching her phone. Same game, different play. The billionaires aren't following a trend. They've discovered a law. The morning is leverage. And if you don't use it, you're fighting the day with one hand tied behind your back. So how do you steal this? Not by copying every detail, by understanding the principles. First, decide your wake-up time tonight. Not in the morning, tonight. When you're rational, when you still have willpower. Make it non-negotiable, not I'll try for 6 a.m. 6 a.m. period. Second, phone stays out of the bedroom. Buy an alarm clock. Make the phone require effort. Because if it's next to your bed, you'll check it. And if you check it, you've already lost. Third, know your first task before you sleep. Not something productive. The exact task, the exact duration. Write it down. Fourth, create before you consume. First hour, no inputs, no news, no social media, no emails, just you and your mission. Fifth, move your body. Doesn't have to be a gym. Stretch, walk, something to signal to your brain that the day has started. Sixth, eat like your brain depends on it, because it does. Protein, water, minimal sugar. 7th, protect your sleep like your net worth depends on it, because it does. And 8th, the most important, find your mission, not a goal, a mission, something so compelling that waking up early feels like an opportunity, not a punishment. Something that makes you angry when you waste time. Something that pulls you forward. Because without the mission, this is just a list of annoying habits. With the mission, it's a weapon. But I'm not a morning person. Nobody is. You become one. Through repetition, through identity change, through doing it before you feel like it. But I need my phone for my alarm. Spend $10 on an alarm clock. Your future self will thank you. But I work better at night. Maybe, but the world doesn't. The world starts at 9. If you want to own the game, you need to be ahead of the world, not behind it. But Elon is different. He's a genius. Elon isn't successful because he's a genius. He's successful because he's relentless, because he shows up, because he treats time like the finite resource it is. The routine doesn't require genius. It requires decision. And that decision is available to you right now. Here's the reality. Every morning you hit snooze, someone else is building what you said you wanted. Every morning you scroll before you create, someone else is capturing the attention you wanted. Every morning you see how you feel, someone else is executing a system that doesn't care about feelings. The billionaires aren't smarter than you. They aren't luckier. They aren't special. They just decided that the morning matters, and they built a system that enforces that decision when motivation fails. Because motivation always fails. Systems don't. Elon didn't build Tesla on motivation. He built it on a morning routine that worked whether he felt like it or not. And now you have the blueprint, not the theory, the stolen system. The question isn't whether it works. The question is whether you'll use it. Because here's the truth that hurts. In 6 months, you'll either have a new morning routine or a new set of excuses. You won't have both. The billionaires chose the routine. What will you choose? Your morning is your life in miniature. How you start your day is how you start your decade. So start like your future depends on it. Because it does. And if you found this valuable, if this resonated, if you're ready to stop negotiating with your potential, then tomorrow morning, set that alarm. Put the phone in another room, write down your mission, and execute. Not because you feel like it, because the person you want to become already would. See you at 3:45.